So it's time to do the oil seals on my Miata. Alright. I've got really bad oil leak from the crank and then the cam pulleys. So not only with this, I've got a whole timing belt kit over there, but there's a whole story behind that. It's really old, and I'm using the valve cover from it, but we're gonna do it now. And all I'm gonna be able to do is take off this intake, and then I'm gonna have to let the car cool down for a little bit. So I pulled it out to turn it around so I could face, inside, and then I'll be able to take that all apart. So see you guys in a second. Alright, so like I was saying, this is pretty much all I'm gonna be able to do for right now, because the engine is pretty hot. But I lost my seat clamp, and I'm pretty sure it's down there in all the oil. So I'm just gonna get that later. But I'm gonna go get some food. I haven't even ate yet. I pretty much woke up, came down here, and just started taking care of all this. But plan is, for today, is I'm gonna just try to get everything taken apart. I might put the water pump in, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to that step. I might do the timing belt again. Don't know if I'm gonna get to it. What I just mainly want to do is get the new oil seals in there, and from there on, I think that's the goal. And then just set that up another time. So I'll see you guys in a minute. So I just want to make this clear that this is not going to be an informative video. There's a lot of videos out there explaining how to do just a timing belt, or pretty much anything you can think of on here. But I will be just kind of giving a general idea of what I'm doing. I might throw out some different things that I noticed, but it's just gonna be a lot of me just working on the car. So hope you guys enjoy. I'm about to start draining the radiator. Engine's cooled down quite a bit, and after that I think we'll just start taking the valve cover off, disconnecting everything, and start getting into the engine. It didn't take long before I realized that I'm not trying to use a ratchet this whole time. I'm gonna go to Harbor Freight here in a second and go get an electric ratchet because I need one. I've been holding it off, and that was enough to make me get one. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, $183 later, we got ourselves this ratchet, a battery, and an impact. I didn't get a charger because I'm pretty sure my dad has one here that work. Here we go. Got it out of the package. Check her out. It's not no Milwaukee or Snap-on, but I mean, I don't know. I think it'll get the job done. Definitely be a lot quicker than the ratchet. Alright, now we got the valve cover off. I didn't plan for putting it anywhere. And good look in here. Quick glance, everything looks good. But I also haven't looked up close to any of it yet. So I'm gonna take a look at that, and then I'm gonna start taking off the front of the engine here. So, see you in a bit. So it's actually getting nice out, so if you hear people in the background, my little brother's outside. But just gotta put the top dead center for cylinder 1. There's also a lot of things like on YouTube where you can see how many teeth you need to count, which I don't know if it's supposed to be that loose or not, but I'm gonna go double check that, make sure that this is in the right position, and then from there on, we gotta take off everything from the front end. So start off with the belts and then cover, and then we gotta pull the balancer off, and hopefully that's not too difficult, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is, so. I haven't done a lot of updates because it's like my third Harbor Freight trip. I decided to get a ratchet, a new one, because this one's actually pretty nice. Like, it's like what, 72 tooth or something? Yeah, it's really good. But I had to also get some crescent wrenches because on the cams I need to lock those shut. So I gotta put them on there. Alright, little update. Realized pretty quickly the crank bolt does not just want to come out. So what we're gonna have to do is my radiator's zip tied in because it doesn't have any mounts on it. So it's super easy to take out. We're gonna take this out and then we're gonna get this. Hopefully these bolts don't snap. We're gonna pull this down and then we should be good. And from my understanding, I don't even think I would be able to take the crank bolt out without pulling the sway bar down. So I'm really worried about the bolts. That's the only thing I'm saying out of this. That could be bad. Alright, small update. What I had to do was get a breaker bar and break this sway bar part, whatever the fuck, loose, and then use my impact and hammer it out. It died before I could try this side, and I'm not sure if it was the heat that did anything that made it work, or if it really was just breaking it loose with the breaker bar or not. If you do want to heat it, get a wet rag. Just try to protect the bushings on either side. But I didn't even get to heat it for that long before it started sizzling and I started getting all worried. So I gotta run back again to Harbor Freight to get a charger because the battery charger that my dad has does not fit it. And yeah, so now I gotta drop even more money on top of the money that I've already been spending. So, all right, so I got back onto this. Sway bar does move down now, so I'll be able to take this bolt out. And yeah, none of the bolts snapped, which is really surprising, and I'm very thankful to have all 4 of them right there. But like I said, now let's just take that out, and then hopefully I don't need to go back to Harbor Freight to get a puller. But we'll find out about that in a minute. And then another thing, really quick while I'm recording. We got one side sort of complete. There's a lot of scratches on it, but honestly I'm probably just gonna leave it as is until I get some different like sandpaper or whatnot. But this is the new, that's the older side. So like I said, I had this box for the timing kit probably almost a year ago, and all the videos I watched were from back then. We got 19 teeth in between here. If you want to pause the video, I just kind of made these white so it's easier to get an idea of where that's at. We got the timing marks like this, but I still need to pull out the balancer down here and then pull this shield off so that way we can see where the crank's at in the timing, and I can give you a more for sure answer on where that's supposed to be at. All right, we gotta go to Harbor Freight for like the 5th time now. So I've been messing with the harmonic balancer for a minute, and I'm just coming to the fact that I need to get a puller so that way I can get it off. I can get a crowbar in the back corners, but in all honesty, I don't want to risk damaging it. So we're just gonna do it the right way and get a puller. So yeah. Alright, I feel like I'm more so building up a tool collection than I am anything else in this entire process here, but I got some pullers now. Okay, ignore this. This is the best camera angle we're getting here. So I got the puller probably where it shouldn't be pulling at, but I can't get that top one up behind there.
and I can't get it to the bottom because we got the sway bar right there. So, pretty much, just start tightening it, and it should hopefully work. If I can get this. I also, so they didn't have different tips for the holder, which I didn't check that. So it's got a cone on it, so I put a bolt in between that, the bouncer's bolt, which just popped. So hopefully that was a good pop. This is taking a little longer than I thought it would. Well, balancer's still on there. And everything else is gone. Okay, after that, I gave up. But then I came back to it, and I was able to get the puller underneath the sway bar, and then able to get this off. It made a loud crack. I don't know what it was, but everything in there looks intact. So I guess we'll see when we take the timing cover off. All right, so with the cover off, I can show you that I really is not perfectly in time. This is supposed to be, it's kind of hard to see, but obviously that arrow is supposed to be lined up with that notch, and that could have happened when I was trying to hammer this off. I still haven't broke this loose, and that's the next step, and I'm honestly not really too excited for it because that's the one thing I keep getting stuck on every time I go for it. So probably not going to record me trying to take it off because I really don't know how long it's going to take. But after we get that off, we'll be able to break loose this tensioner, get this belt off of here, get to the water pump, change this little dude, and then put some new seals in, and then we'll just leave it there, let it sit. I'm going to order some new parts. I'm definitely just going to get a new timing cover. I pulled it off. It's just, I don't know. I watched a video saying that these things get warped and then it makes it harder to tell if it's in time. Plus, I need a new gasket anyways, so I might as well just get it. Sorry for like having the phone crooked there. But yeah, so I will see you guys when I get that bolt out. Okay, it ended up taking me using this breaker bar, and then this is from my my jack, and I set the socket so that way it was at a little bit of an angle. I had the brake bar here, about right here. I was able to get it to break loose. C-clamp fell, but everything looks like it held. Still got 19 teeth in between. And then this is scooted a little bit more to the right now. But it's loose. And that's, yeah, there we go. I just took a pry bar and put it behind here, and I popped that out. It is a little bit out of time, but I'll just fix it when I put it back together. I'm like 90% sure as well that this is a non-interference engine, so I don't think you have to worry about that. But yeah, so I'm about to pull that off. From my understanding, I think it's just that tensioner, and then the belt should come right off. So, all right, I'm starting to not record as much. Sorry about that, but what I have going on here is I got a little crowbar propped up in there so I can break that loose. Gonna do the same thing on this side. All right, got the cams off. Just need a little pry bar go on each side, back and forth till they pop off. Everything looks good so far. We gotta take this last piece off. Alright, so this is where I'm gonna wrap up the video. I got stuck trying to take the cam seals out. Some metal started coming out, and I don't think it was the cam or the housing itself. I'm pretty sure it was whatever's inside of the seal. But I'm gonna just turn this into a two-part series, which is kind of what I was already planning on doing. So I need to stop messing with it. I got pretty far, and I'm just gonna start working on it pretty much after I get off work or next days I get off. So the next video is gonna be kind of spaced out.
If you have any questions, just ask down below. I can do my best to help you out. And yeah, there's a lot of videos online too. If I can figure out how to put them in the description, I'll do that. If not, I promise if you just look up any of the steps, a lot of videos will pop up. So yeah, appreciate you for watching. See ya.